Welcome back to the One Step Journey, episode 11.
One Step Journey.
We are back.
We are back.
We are back. Thank you for tuning into today's episode. I'm Coleton. This is Jeffrey, and we appreciate you guys taking another step with us here today
on this journey,
on this amazing journey. And wow, it has been a journey for us the last week.
Yeah, it has.
Holy cow!
It has been a crazy journey, an amazing journey,
an amazing time, experiences, steps, all the whole nine, the whole kit and caboodle.
Is this the first time that we're recording on drop day? So we are recording the episode the day that these people are hearing it.
This might be the second time.
The second time?
I think so.
Yeah,
it's
okay.
one, first or second.
It's one
one or the other. I don't remember, but it's not. Doesn't happen often.
It doesn't happen often, but
No.
this conversation is happening the morning that you guys are hearing this.
Wow.
It is what, 9:24 in the morning.
9:24 in the morning.
Don't tell my boss.
Whoa.
I incriminated myself. Yeah, wait, this was yesterday.
Anyways,
we are here.
yes.
The last week.
Wow. Last week's been insane, man. So let's.
It's been insane, but it's also been much needed, and it's also been highly anticipated.
Yeah.
The July 3rd Bash
Wow.
happened.
Let's just dive right into that. We talk about that every year. We talked about it last year. We talked about it a couple weeks ago.
It was last Wednesday.
It happened.
July 3rd, it happened. And
here and it's gone.
Boy, was it great.
Wow.
As it always is.
It always is, but this time was a little bit different.
This time was a little bit different.
And we had first of all, we had a good turnout. Weather was great. We had a lot of good people.
It rained a little
there.
bit in the morning, so I was a little nervous, and then not another lick of rain the rest of the day.
Once 10 a.m. hit, boom, dry as a desert out there. It was awesome. It was beautiful, and it was a good day. Started out a little bit rough. I went golfing with Trace. You know,
Broke the course record.
maybe on the first two holes, and then after that, it went downhill. But
happens.
Yeah, man, it was an awesome day. So we talked about this last year. Just a quick recap. Every year, my family has it's actually 18th annual.
Wow.
July 3rd Hrgich Bash. My parents live in Wheaton. Where they live, you could see the fireworks from
DuPage County Fairgrounds.
from their front yard, and
Perfect.
It's a perfect view. We have people over. They bring appetizers, drinks,
block
food, block party, the whole nine. And this year was special because it was the first things first. Trace turned 21.
Trace turned 21. Shout out T.
Let's give T a huge shout out. Trace just turned 21. My little brother, it's crazy, man. He's growing up really quick.
Very fast.
He had all of his friends over. Andrew had friends over. I had friends over. Parents had friends over. And it was just a great time. And, you know, I think we're just going to kind of dive right in. I'll let you take the reins
First
here on
off,
this one.
right, Chef Kepi always has to show up. Always has to show up, bring something.
Wow.
A couple years ago, it was steaks. Last year, it was the burgers. And I figured, this year, why not recreate the burger masterpiece that was last year? So the boys pulled up.
Yep.
Wilson always comes through with stuff, too. I brought 40 burgers, 40.
Wow.
Wilson brought 5 pounds of marinated skirt steak for some tacos and things of that nature, and we just went absolutely bonkers on the grill. Oh my God. Your dad texted you the night before and said, "Hey, is Jeffrey going to need the grill?" And you already knew the answer.
Yes, sir.
So we pulled up. We did it. It was very strategic this year, and I love the way that we did it because we made the first batch of 20 while people were still funneling in. The party was just beginning. And then I was like, you know what? Why not, instead of having it just sit here all night, right? Because 40 is a lot. Like, who knows if everybody's going to eat that? So why not save the second wave, the second 20 for later? When people are getting a little bit more drunk, people are a little bit more kind of ready and they're hungry and they're looking for something. So I actually really liked the way that we did it. It also allowed us to have some time to grill and just kind of hang out for a little bit at the beginning, and then also at the end of the night kind of chill in the back and just have some good conversations, while those burgers were sizzling. But yeah, this year was a little bit different, man. It was feeling good. Energy was high, vibes were high, and I brought another +1.
Whoa.
Whoa. Slow down. But yeah, no, it was good, man. Brought Samantha. It was super great. Just had a good time with everybody, introducing her to everybody.
Yeah.
And, letting her know, like, hey, listen, we're bringing you to probably the best party of the year.
Yeah.
Right. I always look forward to it every single year.
Absolutely.
And it was amazing. You know, I don't want to dive too deep into all that because we don't want to get too excited. We don't want to jinx it or anything. But
of course not.
Reconnected with an old flame a couple days after we had that one podcast where I was talking about, maybe that is something that I'm missing in my life. So we'll see where it goes. Excited.
See where it goes.
Yeah.
She's an awesome woman. I was excited to meet her.
Yeah.
And we will see.
We'll see where this goes,
see what the
man.
future holds.
Remember last year, I brought somebody to the July 3rd Bash, and it lasted for about a week after that. So
Yep.
tomorrow lasts the 1 week mark. So we'll see.
Wow. If I get a text from Jeffrey. No, I'm just kidding. But no.
But jokes aside,
Yeah.
man, it's,
Yeah.
you know, I want to say thank you again so
Always.
much. As always, it
Yeah.
is nothing but love from your family. Nothing
Always.
but amazing energy. I love you guys like a second family to me, man. And it's just,
Yeah.
it's always amazing energy whenever I'm with you and your family.
Absolutely, man. As always, I'm always appreciative of you and glad you're able to make it over every year, right?
Yeah.
It's convenient that Randy's right over the
Right
bridge
across
there.
the street,
Just
park
walk
my
on
car
over.
there, bring all the stuff over, straight to the
Perfect,
grill.
dude.
Hey. Bags was going wild that night too. I was locked in.
Yeah, I took a glance over. Sometimes I like to scope out and see how everyone's doing. Hammer slogging, beer dice, bags, people chilling. A lot of energy coming from Jeffrey in the bags game. A lot of energy.
Yeah,
it was
that
awesome,
is like
man.
one backyard game, dude, where I get pretty locked in. Me and Wilson.
Yeah.
Remember at your birthday?
Oh
Yeah.
my God,
You-
I remember.
You know.
I remember.
You know.
Yeah, that was a good time though, man. But no, it was a great week, great 3rd of July, great 4th of July,
And we both had wild weekends too.
I was literally just about to transition into that.
Talk to us
man.
about the Sin City.
So we went to Las Vegas, Nevada. By the way, holy hot.
It was warm.
Bro, it was 116 degrees.
Yeah,
Like
I'm having
almost
a heat
all
stroke.
weekend. 114 to 116. They had a record high. Actually, I forgot what their record high was, but it was touching multiple
is that
triple
with
digit.
humidity or is that without? It's a
Without.
little bit of a drier heat out there.
It's a little
I know,
drier
but
heat.
Still, that's toast.
I think it was without. I'm going to be honest with you. I think it was without. It was
That's
crazy,
brutal.
man. But yeah, we flew out there. So I went there for my 21st birthday. Andrew went to Vegas for his 21st birthday. And then we took Trace there for his 21st birthday. So my parents went. Of course, Andrew went. My cousin Jeremy went. And Jeremy, dude. And we just had a good time, man. It was a good time. Long weekend, you know, because you leave early. We left early Saturday. We landed at about 9 a.m. Vegas time. Long flight. And then you kind of go in.
Long day.
And then it was just a lot, man. So it was great, though. I had an awesome experience, awesome time. We got to see Trace. Trace played some blackjack for the first time, which was awesome at the tables.
Yeah?
Crushed it. He doubled his money in like 10 minutes.
Let's go.
Which is really cool.
Does he know when to walk away?
He does know when to walk away, which I'm really proud of him for. I think
That's
he's learning a little bit. He's the youngest one. So
Some
the
of
youngest,
our boys don't.
Don't need to name any names,
Yeah.
but no, you're right though. I mean, some people I think do have a hard time. You think you're gonna keep. It's like that rush, that adrenaline rush that people get when they gamble. I mean, I get it too. I'll be honest with you. So
Yeah.
I had to step away. I walked away, but it was an awesome time, man. So got back late last night. God, hour and a half delay, and we're just tired today.
Yeah.
We're just tired. We're tired,
yeah.
but we're back to it, man. We're back to it, and yeah, man, it was an awesome time. And
That's amazing.
yeah, I just appreciate the family. I appreciate everyone.
Yeah,
and
you got a good one.
Had a good one, man. But talk to me about your
I've
weekend.
never
now.
been to Vegas.
I know. Yeah, you were saying that. You've never been before.
Yeah.
It's
I know D. Alexander is going to have his bachelor party in Vegas, so that might be the first time. And then we're also having an event for work that I may or may not be going, depending on how many people we get signed up, which will be in Vegas. So I could go from never being there to going there twice this year. So we'll see.
Wow.
But yeah, dude. So we had the annual Morton, my mom's side, family reunion.
Yeah.
Which was over the weekend. It was on, what was that, the 6th on Saturday?
Yeah.
The 7th, the 6th.
6th.
So me and my dad, another long weekend for us. Me and my dad, it's about a 9-hour drive out there.
Buffalo.
Yeah.
Buffalo.
They're about an hour south of Buffalo is where most of my family is. But yeah, it's up near Buffalo in upstate New York. Whenever I tell people I'm going to New York for a family reunion, they always think Big Apple, big city.
Yeah.
Complete opposite. It's out in the fucking boonies and the sticks.
Love it, though.
Literally. But I love it. It's so peaceful. It's so quiet. It's such a change of pace compared to like where we live near Chicago, one of the biggest cities in the country, if not the world. But yeah, so me and my dad left at 4 a.m. on Friday, drove all the way out there. Had a day, met up with some family, saw everybody Friday. Family reunion was Saturday. Then we drove about an hour and a half from Portville, hour 40 up to Buffalo for the Savannah Bananas game. Had a fucking heat stroke because it was so hot. Didn't get to watch much of the game. Jumped back in the car and then drove another 9 hours home. Right? So
Insane,
we were in
dude.
New York literally for one full day.
Wow.
And then we spent about 30 hours in the car because it's like traveling to family out there. It's like you're going half an hour each way, Portville to Great Valley to fucking Salamanca and all that kind of stuff, right? So probably nearing about 30 hours total in the car to
Wow.
be there for about 20 or to be there for about 40 hours.
Yeah.
Right. So it was a long weekend and, kind of just cramped in the car. Like I'm used to the road trips, but it's like still, it's, stomach was tossing after the heat stroke and all that.
Yeah,
But
it's tough.
it was amazing to see family nonetheless, but it was
Yeah.
a very long weekend. So I definitely feel you on the lethargia.
Oh my God. Major.
Right? Major.
Major.
Which is a kind of an amazing segue into what we were talking about.
Mm-hmm.
After a vacation, after a getaway, after a little bit of a reprieve, right?
Mm-hmm.
If that's the right word to use. How do we get back into the swing of things?
Topic of the day today.
Topic of the day. Wow. How to get back into the swing of things, right? So I'm kind of curious, Coleton, after an amazing week last week, obviously stepping away for July 3rd and all that kind of stuff, and then going to Vegas, touching down late last night, getting home at midnight.
Yeah.
How are you going to get back into the swing of things?
Yeah, that is a great question. And for me, it's just keeping things simple. Get back to the basics like we talked about.
Yep.
Have my checklist. I wrote it out this morning. I have my 4 to 5 things I have to get done today. I have my 2 to 3 that if I get to it today, that's great. And I have a couple where it's like, okay, like if I get to it, great, but it's not necessarily I need to get it done today.
Yeah.
Right type of deal. So I have like my certain sections and like tiers of levels of what I need to get done in what order. Certain things have certain deadlines. Certain things can maybe wait until tomorrow or Thursday and so forth. So it's just getting back in the swing of things, making a couple of those cold calls. Usually I make between maybe 15 and 20 cold calls within an hour. Sometimes it's a little bit more depending on my schedule. Maybe I'll make 5 to 7 today. Just whatever, something to get back on track
to
today.
start, kind of easing that wheel a little bit.
Exactly, right?
Getting that whistle wet.
That's all that we need to do. So that's something that helps me because then it's all about getting that momentum and then how can I sustain that momentum again and keep it going? Because it's hard when you lose momentum.
It is.
But you need to take those necessary steps to get back on track a little bit. Just a little bit, man. So I'm curious though with you, man, like, is that, do you kind of do the same thing or do you have a different system that works for you?
I love the first thing that you said when I asked you the question is keeping things simple. And it kind of relates back to the reason for the name change, right? The one-step journey where it's getting back to that momentum or getting back to whatever it is, that place that we're going to. The most important part of that is taking that one step. So look at today as taking that one step of just getting back to where you wanted to go. And I really just want to harp on everything you said with the schedule and just the routine, whether it be the morning routine, the wake up routine. If you normally get up at 8 o'clock and first day back into it, get back up at 8, right? Just get back into that routine. Like we got home about 10:30 Sunday night, and I had already taken Monday off because originally we were supposed to come back, but then just the way that things were unfolding, me and my dad were kind of like, let's just get home, right? So I took yesterday off, which was much needed, right? Because I didn't really do much relaxing over the weekend.
Right.
And getting back into it today, we always have, if it's not a regional call, we always have a team call that's at 7:45, 8 o'clock in the morning, right? And so just hearing that alarm go off this morning that I'm so used to hearing every day, shot right up out of bed and was ready to go. And it's just getting back to the routine, jumping on the team's call, recapping and planning the day and figuring out everything, the lay of the land. What am I going to be doing all day? Having everything documented out. Need to go here, need to go there, need to call these places, etc. Just getting back into that. Right. And obviously this is a little bit of a curveball because we don't normally do this during the work day, but obviously it's much needed on drop day. But it's like as soon as we finish this, it's like, boom, go upstairs, change, leave. I got a laundry list of everything I need to get done.
Right.
And just getting back into the swing of things, it's like muscle memory.
Yeah.
And, I'll kind of feel it come like 12:30 after being a couple hours back into the routine. It'll be like I never stepped away. But sometimes getting back into it, right, taking that first step is the hardest part.
Yeah. Because
last week, it was July 3rd was on Wednesday. Yeah, I don't think I've picked up my work phone since Tuesday night.
Right.
So it's been about a week away, which is weird.
Yeah.
I haven't really taken a break since we went to NSM in Mexico in January.
Wow.
There hasn't really been too much of like a break away from work where it's like I literally left my work laptop, my work phone, and everything here. Which is good because I wanted to step away and get away from it because it's always, you know what I mean? Like in sales and with what you do, you never really turn it off. I wanted to be able to turn it off for a little bit. I needed to turn it off. I was driving myself crazy, but now getting back into it, just like you said, sticking to the basics and just doing the small things to take steps back and gain that momentum again.
Yeah.
Because like before last week, I was in a rhythm. Waking up, I'm already knowing boom, 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 boom. And I was kind of caught in the snowball, right? We talk about the momentum and the snowball effect. I was caught in that snowball. I needed the snowball to thaw out, melt a little bit, and then now I'm taking more steps to kind of create that snowball again, if that makes sense.
Yeah, 100%, dude. It's important because
it's hard though to get back into the swing of things.
I'll be honest, it's gonna be very hard today. But at the end of the day, too, it's like we have to do it. And like I'm not expecting things to be easy. I don't want it to be easy because then how do I grow, like get to that next step in life and whatever we want to accomplish, right? But what you were just talking about, though, it is important, though, because we do need to have some time to decompress.
Yes, it's much needed. It is much needed.
No matter what you do, because this is what I always think about, and I don't know why I think about this, but I think about I think about like Elon Musk, right? Always talking about working 16 hours a day, sleeping in his office, X, Y, and Z.
It's too much.
I don't know if he still does that or not, but I know he did that like when he was building Tesla. But just like exactly what you said, that's just too much.
It's too much, man.
It's not the life that I want to live.
No.
Like we're going to be successful. We're already like wealthy as it is, just within our minds, and everything is going to come full circle when the time is right.
Yeah.
But I also want to enjoy the fruits of our labor too.
Yeah.
Right. So I think it's important that we do take some time to decompress, family time, get out of town for a little bit, turn the work phone off, close the laptop. Right. That's all good.
Yeah.
But when you get back to it, how do we get back on track?
How do we get back into it?
Which is what we're talking about today, because this is relevant for both of us right now, and I know our listeners too, because we got to enjoy life.
We just had the holiday weekend. It was a long weekend.
Absolutely, man. People were traveling, having a good time, doing what they're doing. But I hope that people are getting back on track. You have to get back.
You have to get back on track. I think honestly, one of the biggest things that came from the pandemic that happened is it allowed people to slow down and realize how important it really is to step away from work to step away from work and focus on family and all the other things that we like to do outside of the work life.
For sure.
I would say one of the biggest things that I really love about my company and the things that we do and you know the pillars that we stand on is they want us to have lives outside of work. Like my boss is adamant. He's like, yeah, dude, fucking take the days. I don't even, you know what I mean? Just do what you got to do. Just take the day, go to the family reunion. Like, didn't even question it.
Yeah.
Go enjoy it.
That's huge for you.
We'll be here Tuesday, right, when you get back. Like, no, there's no worries. And that was much needed.
Yeah.
Right? And it's the same thing last week on, like, Tuesday or whatever. Like, yo, like, we're cutting out a little early here. Go enjoy 4th of July, America, right?
Yeah.
Go do all that. Spend time with your family and friends. But make sure you're ready next Tuesday when we come back to work.
Let's go. Yeah, exactly.
The importance is so key, though, because you have to. Companies always talk about the work-life balance, but being able to find opportunities that actually walk the walk, they don't just talk the talk, is huge, right? Because stepping away, going to the gym, even if it's for a couple hours, like in the regular routine, is just turning the phone off, creating those boundaries, which I need to get better at, especially like later in the work hours when I'm working out and things of that nature. I'm still taking work calls and all that. I'm working on that, getting better on setting those boundaries, but just stepping away from work for a long weekend and going to the gym and rock climbing and doing whatever it is that you like to do outside of work and making sure that at the end of the day, you're Coleton, I'm Jeffrey, not just salesman with cynosure, right? Like I'm a human doing the podcast and rock climbing and spending time with family and all that is so important.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it really is, man. Because if not, then we can't be at work. Because then we're then in this vicious cycle of I don't even know, but it's just not healthy.
It's not.
It's really not healthy, man. So I do think that it is really important to just have that work-life balance, but also understand you have to have a game plan, right? You can't just go into a weekend and do what you got to do, spend time with family. If you go enjoy yourself at a bar, whatever that is that you do, and then just expect to just come back to work the next day and not have a game plan.
Yeah.
Because then you get in this cycle that I've learned with myself. If you don't have a game plan, you don't have a checklist, you're overthinking, the anxiety kicks in.
And
it's sporadic. You're creating a bigger problem in your mind than what's truly right in front of you.
And the anxiety builds up.
Exactly.
And then you block yourself.
It's not healthy. Right. So that's why I like to have the checklist. I'd rather have 2 things on my checklist and get them done than not have anything on my checklist and get nothing done and overthink and overanalyze. Because that way, those 2 things I got done are 2 more things than I've got done if I didn't do it. You know what I'm saying? And then that momentum, that one step, and then I can go to 4 the next day, and then I can go to 6 and so forth. And then that snowball, instead of thawing out,
effect.
it gets a little bit colder, and then boom, it goes down the mountain.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
100%. Taking that step to get to where you want to go.
Exactly, man. So it's definitely important. It's not easy though.
It's really not easy.
Which is why we're talking about it, right? You know what I mean?
But you like just even hearing you saying like that's kind of fucked up though that it's not easy to step away from work.
You're not wrong.
Why? It's been something that society has been pushing, right? Is just to be like the Rock, right? You know, obviously I love the hardest worker in the room mentality, but it's like at what cost though? It's just like the movie The Prestige, right? Where it's Hugh Jackman, it's Christian Bale. They're two magicians, and they're in a lifelong battle of creating the best trick, and they're sacrificing everything: their families, their daughters, the wives, all of that stuff, everything that's out there to have the best trick. It's just like us, right? Running around all these sacrifices to sell the most patents, right? Or to sell the most capital equipment, but at what cost? Right?
I mean, seriously, I think that's a valid question. If you think about it, right? No matter what we do, we're not guaranteed to succeed.
Exactly.
Right? So it's like when you think about this, and at the end of the day, does this even really matter?
Does it?
I don't think it does. Right? But then again, too, it's like we have to provide and survive.
We do.
And that's where it's like you have to.
It gets sticky.
It does get sticky. But I also think this too, and I heard Mark Cuban say this. He talked about an episode of Shark Tank 2, man, is he would rather work for himself for $50,000 than work for someone else for $100,000. And when he said that, I was trying to think of what that meant, and I was like, because I didn't really know. I was super naive.
Freedom.
That's it right there, man. Literally. I mean, within the last couple months, stepping away from my other job, I feel that more freedom. Mm-hmm. You know, and money doesn't matter. It really doesn't. Again,
it doesn't.
You have to provide, but like you don't need to live a lavish lifestyle. But having that freedom is what I've learned is more important than anything in the world, my opinion.
Well, here's the thing that's the most fucked up, especially with Bidenomics, right? Is
buddy.
My dad's gonna hear that and probably have a comment about that. But here's the thing, right? And this is where it gets so hairy and it gets so tricky. We don't want to sacrifice everything in search for the money, right? You never want to just focus all on the work and just money, right? But in order to do anything in this fucking world anymore, it costs money, right? Even if you want to load up your fucking van and just go live in a van and travel the country, you're still going to need money for food. You're still going to need money for gas. You're still going to need money for forest preserves and national parks and all that kind of stuff. And for all that, you're still going to need money to do that. Yeah. Right? Unless you want to just pack up your stuff and go live on the fucking corner, you're still probably going to need some money for food and all that stuff.
And it's going to come back to get you.
No matter what,
you
still need money. Yeah. Right? If I want to decompress and step away from work, like even if I want to just watch movies and eat snacks at home, right? I still have to pay for the roof over my head and pay for the streaming services
and the food,
and the snacks and the food and all that, right? So it's the fine line of finding that balance and not necessarily divulging everything for the money, but you still have to make enough to do what makes you happy, right? Like if you want, like with all the passions, we want to go play softball. It costs money to be in the league. If I want to go rock climbing, you have to pay for that, right? So it's finding that balance on where you're doing enough to create a large enough pool of money for that freedom, right? Because obviously me and you have the goals. We want to be able to make enough where we can step away sooner than most people do and be able to provide for the family and live the life and the lifestyle that we've always wanted.
Absolutely.
Right? So now at this age, we may need to make a little bit more sacrifices and divulge a little bit of our time and give ourselves to the cause, right? To be able to make more money in hopes of in the future being able to step away a lot more and still be able to provide. Yeah. Does that make sense?
100%, dude. It's crazy.
It's a tricky loop, man. The fucking rat race.
It's so true, though. And I'm glad you touched on that because my personal viewpoint on this, I feel a lot of people don't understand why they're doing what they're doing. Like you said, that rat race.
It's the rat race. It's running on the fucking rat wheel, dude. The hamster wheel.
Right. And
what are we even doing? We're going nowhere.
Right. But seriously though, like, it's just crazy that some people in society don't have that outlook on life.
Yeah.
They have more of a closed mind instead of an open mind. Again, nothing wrong with that. I think with this platform, I think you would agree too. Whatever you want to do in life is up to you and how you want to live your life. If we can give a different perspective just to kind of open up things a little bit, maybe have some curiosity of what the other side looks like.
Yeah.
Right? Because for me, like we talked about 4 years ago, I never would have thought in a million years I'd be in the situation where I stepped away from my job.
Stepping away.
I never would have thought.
Walking away from it.
I had an open mind. And I listened to other people and I was curious. I was just so stuck. I thought 30 years, 35 years, boom, social worker the rest of my life.
Yeah.
That's not the case. Things change. I invested more in myself. I developed more confidence, more communication skills with people, just really got to network with people and hear their story. Life is all about storytelling, right? So for me, it was just really important to hear people's stories. Why did they leave that job? Why are they where they are now? Like, just really open-minded to that. And here we are.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
100%. I mean, and that's why is it still recording? That's why I am, very fortunate to be in the opportunity in the industry that I am, because life could look a lot different. I was just talking about this with Diego. Life could look a lot different in a couple of years. And, being able to get to that ASM role and then to the DSM role, regardless of if I'm here or if I go somewhere else or whatever it is, like, it's going to allow so much more financial freedom. So it's like right now I just got to put the head down and just do it, because if I get to that level, it's going to allow me more freedom, right? The tasks and all the menial stuff that I'm doing now, a little bit more of the grunt work, is going to be off my plate. Other people are going to be doing it, and I can spend more time focused on family at that point and just all of that. But it's the sacrifice, right? And there's always going to be that little give and a take. And I think with the positions that we're in right now, we have to give a little bit more of ourselves and give a little bit more of our time and things of that nature. Hopefully it's not all for nothing.
Yeah. Hopefully. And that's the thing. We don't know until we do it.
I know.
The only way you won't know is if you don't take that step.
Exactly.
That's it.
You'll never know unless you take that step.
You have to.
And one of the biggest things that, I've really been working on is becoming just obsessed with the process and the journey. Not necessarily worried about the destination, because the way that it goes, right, and with faith in the Lord, like, things might look different. He might take us down a different path. So instead of just being focused on, like, I need to be here, just in this one spot, I need to be here with this house and this car and all of that, I just want to be obsessed with the journey and just grinding. That's it. And just being present.
Yeah. I've noticed I've made that shift too within my life.
It feels better, doesn't it?
It does, man. Because I'm not worried about all this money and all, like, whatever. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't. I want to enjoy the journey, and whatever the man above is graciously going to gift us with, that's what he will when the time is right.
Yeah.
I look about it with football, right? Like, we took those years that we won the championships at Whitewater. I wasn't focused on the national championship. Lance never had us think about that, not once.
Yeah.
He specifically said, we're not here. Like, we're not talking about winning a national championship. We talk about that every year. We don't focus on that. Focus on the preseason, the first 3 games. That's the first chapter. Then we get first season. Then we get to the second season, which is conference, and then we'll take care of business there. Then we get to the third season, which is playoffs, and the rest will take care of itself.
100%.
So just the process, like you said, every single day. You've got Monday, you got film. Tuesday, you got full pads. Wednesday, you got shells. Thursday, you got helmets. Friday, walkthrough. Saturday, you go out and kick some ass, and then you repeat it the next week. That's it. It's super simple. Just like you said, that's the process and the journey. Have those same principles into life, which is why I love sports so much, because it's so applicable to life and business and just everything that we're doing. There's so many good principles, man. I love it.
So many.
I love it.
There's so many, and I feel like we could dive down this rabbit hole for so long.
But we always could.
We always can, especially once you get both of us talking about sports.
It's so bad, but I love it.
It's over, but I absolutely love it.
Yeah.
But I think the biggest thing is with whatever comes, right, is being able to stay grounded and staying true to who you are.
Yeah, always.
Always,
man.
That's it.
Always.
The money will never change us.
It won't change us,
It'll
man.
just allow us to bless more people. That's the way that I look at it.
That's all that it is, man. That's all it is.
It's like the more that I make, the more that I want to give.
Yeah, 100%.
I always want to give. The money's not even for me. It's for my family.
and you'll be able to live a more lavish lifestyle and enjoy life a lot more
Yeah.
as opposed to keeping it for yourself. You honestly will.
100%.
100%, dude. So I think that this might be a good.
I think
this
that's
might be
amazing.
a good
I
wrap
think
up
that's
here.
amazing.
This
We'll
is,
leave
man.
this here. They're hearing this literally on drop day. This conversation happened today. Thank you guys so much, as always, for tuning back in and taking another step with us on this journey. As you guys know, new episodes every single Tuesday. Thank you so much for listening, watching, viewing, and subscribing.
Yeah, buddy.
We love you guys, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Peace.
That's good.
Yeah, buddy.
Oh,